And that's a great segue into the next team we're going to talk about, the Kansas Jayhawks. I just said it. I've been saying it again because we're about to clip it. I think the best team in the country is whoever shoots better between Kansas and Purdue. Purdue shot well in their scrimmage against each other. They have to go on their overseas trip, so we'll see if that stays. Kansas has had some poor shooting games, then they've had some good shooting games in this overseas trip. We've seen more of Kansas than we've seen than we've seen of the other elite teams in this country. Their latest game card, they lost to the Bahamas team that actually played Buddy Hield and Eric Gordon, both 20 minutes in this game. They lost by 6 points, Cart, to a team that had 2 NBA guys starting on it.
And some good college players, too. AJ Storrs on that team.
Yeah, and DeJuan Harris was the story, man. 35 minutes, 10 for 14 from the floor, 3 for 7 from 3, 23 points, 5 steals, and it even got a Carter Elliott tweet about hyping DeJuan Harris.
Yeah, because I think that anyone who's listened to Sleepers in the past, I've been a very vocal critic of DeJuan Harris and what he does kind of to hold back Kansas in my eyes. And I think he's kind of just reached at a point where he's played so many games and he knows he has the ability to take a step to raise the level of this team. And I see him doing that this year. He's going to be in the upper echelon of point guards in all of college basketball this year, in my eyes, with what he can do passing. And I think he's going to show a little bit more scoring. Kevin McCullough's stat line from this game was eye-popping as well. I believe he had 15 or 17 points, 8 rebounds to go along with 7 assists. People, including myself, have, I think, undersold the fact that they got him back. I think he's a great piece, a great glue guy for that team. I think he's going to be huge. And I'm buying Kansas as a shooting team, especially if guys like Arterio Morris and Marco Jackson can shoot the ball well, which I would bank that they will. So, this Kansas team is the best team in the country to me. And if we're doing the whole which team will shoot better, come March or come towards the end of the season, my bet would go on Kansas Jayhawks being that team that can shoot the ball better than Purdue.
I want to correct myself because last week I came on this program and said that my hot take was Kentucky is better than Kansas. And I'm probably going to get some hate for this, some shit for this, for being flip-floppy. I've seen enough Kansas to know I was wrong. Okay. Kansas is better than Kentucky. The difference here, Kentucky is a bunch of kids that we hope are really good. We think are really good. We know are really good. Fine. They're kids. Kansas is grown ass men, Cart. And we've said it time and time again in this era of college basketball, age wins. You know, what's interesting though, Cart, is Kansas might be the first team to really do this at an elite level. They have age and they have elite talent. I don't think we've seen that in this era, right?
An elite coach.
Last year's Final Four teams were just a bunch of old teams. They better pray to God the old team that is also really talented doesn't show up. And that's Kansas to me right now. And Dickinson's a big part of that, man. As much as I want to troll him and make jokes, if Dickinson can just show up and be what he is without needing to lead a team and propel them forward, you're going to get 19 and 6 from him every single night with 4 assists, which is what he did in this game. He does that in his sleep. And DeJuan Harris is the key to me because I've said all season, I think he needs to be the guy on this team because it takes that pressure off Hunter and he's capable of it. His box scores in their first scrimmages were not this, man. It was 0 for 4 from the field. And last season, he was bipolar. Let's just call it what it is. I shouldn't say that word. I've gotten people comment me on that. I shouldn't use that term. He was back and forth, right? He was up and down, okay? He can be this every game to me. I need to see that. He's not going to score 25 every game, but he needs to be aggressive and hunt his shot and not just be a table setter. And I think this Kansas team needs that. Arterio Morris didn't play in this game. The fact that Arterio Morris went off and was their best player a couple of days ago, now he's sitting out and they still almost beat a team with Buddy Hield and Eric Gordon. It's
crazy impressive.
Right now to me, it's Purdue and Kansas at the top. And like I said, I think whichever team shoots better from 3 is the team that is the best team in the country because even in this game, Cart, they shot 7 for 26 from 3. They weren't making threes, and they almost beat this team with a bunch of good college players and NBA guys on it. It should scare the rest of the country. I think I trust Purdue to make threes more than I trust Kansas still. We haven't seen the Nick Timberlake go off game yet. We haven't really seen even McCullers being great. He's not making shots. So I think that's still a little fear, but man, it probably doesn't matter. This could be a year where I complain about Kansas shooting all season long, and then Kansas just like cakewalks to a national title, shooting 7 for 30 from three every game.
Which,
Like,
that's a world that's very possible.
yeah, it might not matter at all. Okay. Shout out Kansas. So official top of the polls from you right now. Kansas is one. Give me like a tier level too. Is Kansas alone in a tier at the top for you now?
No, I will not say that. I still think like my top four are on the same tier, or top three.
Okay.
Maybe. So like, give me Kansas, give me Purdue. Kansas, Purdue, like Duke and State, I think are the four teams that I have like on that same level. Those are like the final four teams
Okay.
as of now. Kansas won though.
Okay. I'm going tier one, best teams in the country. Kansas 1A, Purdue 1B. Tier two, super effing talented, maybe it works teams, Duke and Kentucky. Tier three, loaded teams that have a mix of talent and vets, Michigan State, and I'm adding a surprise in cart. I'm adding UConn to the mix.
I like those tiers. I like UConn's pieces too. Klingon, Castle. I
Yeah.
like them. Yeah.
Yeah. Those are my tiers. All right.